Littles, no taller than sprouts, lived in a village far away from any other. During the summer, the children played, and the parents cared for the homes and gardens. In the village center, tiny stores sold clothing so small only littles from the town could fit into them. Markets sold groceries so tiny the food filled only the stomachs of a little. Hardware stores carried tools so small only a little would find a use for them. The little village burst with golden sunlight and a rainbow of flowers in the day. Glimmering stars brightened the blackened sky at night. The littles had a wonderful life, visiting their friends, talking with them, helping each other. If anyone asked a little for what they enjoyed most, they always said they liked seeing one another. One day, high above the village, a cloud formed. At first it was little, but in time it ate so much it became too tired to stay up in the sky. The cloud drifted down, 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 and instantly fell asleep on the warm earthen bed. The villagers couldn't see. Never before had a blindness struck all of Little. The men wailed, the women cried, the children sobbed. They closed their windows to ward off the blindness and still couldn't see inside their homes. They lit candles to play and work inside and still could not see. They speed dialed their neighbors, and thankful to at least hear their friends' voices, they listened to complaints of the same problem. The entire village had gone blind. How would they ever survive? With arms stretched, they groped their ways to the town center and felt for their usual bench, then sat. They called on the mayor, the school teacher, and council and asked what they should do. The littles couldn't tend their gardens or read books. They couldn't cook or sweep away dust bunnies from under the beds. They couldn't see the sky and know the time. Not even the village doctor could determine what brought on the littles' blindness. How would they find their way to the store? How could they do their work? Having never suffered such blindness, the mayor, the school teacher, and the council were just as perplexed as their constituents and offered no advice other than to help each other the best they could. Days drifted by, and still the blindness hindered the village. At night, little children cried themselves to sleep. Moms and dads wept, not knowing how to care for their little ones. Many more days passed. Families invented ways to make food, how to walk to their neighbors, how to brew tea. Children invented new games based on sounds rather than sights. Men and women learned how to feel the difference between weeds and plants. At night they told stories once read to each other. They told time by feeling for warmth and cool. Soon neighbors invited neighbors for meals, and villagers resumed their weekly meetings. The little stopped complaining about the blindness and found the beauty in their new lives. The weather warmed. Cloud woke from his long nap. He sat up in his earthly bed, yawned, then, feeling rested, flew back to the sky. Sun brightened the village and woke the littles. They rubbed their eyes, surprised and delighted to see each other again. How they danced and cheered. They walked about the village and found all to be well. The gardens had been cared for. The stores were clean. Everything was in its place. The littles had a grand celebration, rejoicing they could see one another and their village again. The story of the great blindness was never written in a book for eyes to see, but passed down to each new generation for many, many generations that followed. Annual celebrations called to memory the bravery of the littles who found ways to support each other in the great blindness. Perhaps you've heard it told too. In case you haven't, don't ask your local librarian for the book. It won't be there. This has been Mary V. reading The Great Blindness.